Welcome to the Sim Podcast Show. I'm your co-host, Eric, and I'm always joined by my co-host, Ron. What a run.
What's going on?
You know what we do? We talk about the National Football League on a weekly basis, including the playoffs. Ron, this is episode 135, season 5. How are you feeling? Are you hitting the panic button yet? Where are you right now?
I don't know what to say, man. I'm over last week's loss. That was a disappointing performance for sure. I don't know if I'm hitting the panic button yet because we've gotten out to such a big lead and the division is so crappy. But I'm disappointed with the way the team is playing for sure. Disappointed in Mike Tomlin, how he's coached people he's picked, with the roster, with coaches and all that stuff, everything, all the above. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I predicted the team to make the playoffs and be one and done, I think. So that's what it's looking like. This is, what they do every year.
Things are looking very bleak for the Steelers. I can't say that about the Patriots. Things are looking great, and we'll surely talk about them in our review. But what's in the agenda? We'll talk about the NFL news. We'll talk about last week's games, where we are for season totals. We'll do our PowerPoints, our game predictions, and we'll do our playoff predictions. And of course, we'll always end up with our upset specials and our team's review. So let's start with the news, Ron. And I know we said that we weren't going to talk about this, but Mercedes Lewis signed with Chicago Bears to the practice squad. He's a tight end. The thing that interests me the most was he's 41 years old, and I don't think he played last year.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
So what gives? Don't Chicago has like a star tight end they drafted? So what
they got
gives?
Some young guys, but they, I don't know why teams do what they do. I think this is basically just a tryout. Let's come in, let's see what kind of condition and shape you're in, see if it sticks with you being on the practice squad, right? But beyond that, I don't know.
Yeah, to me, I'm kind of dumbfounded, but at the same time, like, hey, if you need a 41-year-old tight end to join your team, something is amok. Something is shady going on.
Well, Tomlin likes his old guys, so I'm surprised we haven't tried to sign him.
He's still trying to turn Washington into a good player. The other thing is the Saints starting a rookie QB. You think they just had enough of Rattler and they were like, nah, we'll take a chance with the QB?
No, I don't think it's it. I think they needed to see what they have on their team, right? They had Rattler, who played well for most of the season. I don't think he was that bad, but he's not your franchise. I think he's someone that could be a really good backup for, a team. But that's it. Now that staff drafted Shuck, right, with the number 2 pick. So they needed to see what they have because they're going to be picking probably first or second, somewhere in the top 3. So they need to evaluate him. And I know they announced today that Chuck is starting the rest of the season. That's because they want to see what he has. And I think I told you, I mentioned this at the beginning of the season. I like Chuck. I think he has, immense talent. He has an outstanding arm. He's a good enough athlete that can move around. I think he can be the real deal. So I'm excited to see him play. I think he's a step up, from what they had. So I think he has a chance to be a franchise quarterback. So I think it's a good thing, that they're moving on to him.
Well, if Kellen Moore drafted him, he must like them.
Right.
It's trading season, Ron, and we already have a couple of trades. The Eagles got a cornerback from the Jets to shore up the defense. So let me get this straight. So the Eagles traded with the Jets to get a cornerback. The Jets got a wide receiver. why do you think cornerback was such a big point of emphasis for the Eagles?
I don't know. I assume they just want to shore up their defense. I'm trying to figure out what was in it for the Jets, because if you are a seller, which they are, right? They're sellers at this point. You shouldn't be trading for people. You should be trading for capital, like draft capital. So, the receiver, Mechie, is that his name, that they got. Listen, he's a young receiver that had loads of talent, but had a horrific injury that almost cost him his career. And, hopefully he can get back to what he once was. Maybe that's what the Jets are hoping for. But we'll see. The trade, for me, doesn't really make sense from a Jets perspective, but maybe they're holding out hope that Mechie can turn into a star.
Yeah, because it's not like, it's not like the Jets quarterback is a passing quarterback. So I don't know. It almost like they said, you know what, we'll give you this cornerback because you really need it, and we'll take basically a development project. So the Patriots also traded to your team, the Steelers.
Mm-hmm. They traded a couple guys, right?
Duggar went to your team, and Keon White went to San Francisco. So for me to you, I would say that Kyle Duggar, it's a good player. I don't know if he's going to show up. Your secondary currently is in last place defensively.
Yeah.
So you got Peppers, which we let go. Got Kyle Duggar, which you got in a trade. So what's going on here? Why all of a sudden you're interested in these players?
Again, injury is a big part of it, right? So Deshaun Elliott went down. He's placed in the IR. He's probably our top defensive player next to TJ Watt. He led the team with tackles last year, had a really good season. But so far this year, I think he played in 2 games. So he's out. It's going to be hard to find someone to replace him. We're hoping, I guess, Duggar can do that. He's like a box safety that will really tackle well, not really good in coverage or anything like that, which is what we need. But, we haven't been able to do anything well. You mentioned that we're last on defense. We're last total yards allowed, and I think second to last in passing yards allowed. So we've been bad all around. I don't know if Duggar is the answer. I think it's an issue with both having aging vets in the secondary, guys that just can't run, they're slow, and then having a defensive coordinator that doesn't know what he's doing.
So you traded for Jalen at the beginning of the year and let Fitzpatrick go. Is that a mistake? Was that a mistake?
Not necessarily, because Jalen hasn't necessarily been a problem. You just can't ask him to cover Jamar Chase, right? Very few people can. Used in the right way, Jalen's been great. And
what happened with the Green Bay then? Because they don't have Jamar Chase.
Well, I don't know if it was Jalen necessarily that gave up all the plays to Kraft. I think there was just a lot of miscommunication, some poor tackling. There was some, bad luck involved too with, what's his face, just throwing up a couple passes. But at the same time, the secondary's old, period. Ramsey and Porter are good, but everyone else is old. And, that's why we're here. That's why they can't run. And that's why they're second to last place in passing yards. So Duggar is not going to help there, because he's 30?
He's up there in age, and he's a strong safety. Really.
Right, exactly. So that's not going to help either. I just think we just don't have the right guys. These are Tomlin's handpicked guys that he likes, and it doesn't fit what we need to do. It fits what he wants to do. He wants guys that are good at tackling, but these guys haven't really been good at tackling. And they certainly can't cover anyone. And in this league, you got to be able to cover as a DB. You got to be able to run. It's a young man's sport. The only position you can be old in the NFL and do well is quarterback, and
yep.
kicker. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Outside of that, I don't want my players above 30 for any position. I want them under 30. And but
you're facing a passing attack offense this week,
right?
And we'll talk about that in a minute. Let's talk about last week's games and let's talk about our season total. So right now, Ron, you're leading it 79-72. You got a 7-point lead, 7 games. I still think I can catch up.
We had a bad week, right?
There was a lot of bye weeks.
6.
Yeah, there was a lot of bye games, and it was the biggest one that I'm mad at is Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm staring right at that one. Like we both had Atlanta winning, and they got, not only did they lose, they got embarrassed.
And I know it was a kind of a funky game, but still, I'm like, come on, guys, this is Miami. It's Miami, and the Miami played pretty good. Tua played pretty good, so I give hats off to him. And let's talk about Pittsburgh, which we started to talk about against Green Bay. The problem is the secondary. Was anything else that you thought during that game that Pittsburgh or maybe Green Bay was doing a lot better or a lot worse, I guess?
I thought first half Steelers played really well. They ran the ball well. They passed well. Now they're from an offensive standpoint, they had some drives that ended it just in field goals. They kicked 3 field goals in the first half. And in this league, you can't just kick field goals. You got to finish out the drives and score touchdowns. So they weren't able to do that, but they had a lead, going into the half. And defensively, I thought they played pretty well. Second half comes out, completely went away from their game plan. Warren, I think, touched the ball 3 times. That's it in the second half. He only got 3 carries, which makes no sense when he was, I think, averaging 5.5 yards per carry or more at that point. So the game plan offensively just completely shifted. And Arthur Smith, I don't know what he was doing in that second half. And then defensively, there was just a complete breakdown in communication. We couldn't get any pressure at all. Continued to blitz, even though we were getting diced up. Kraft killed us. We had no answer for him whatsoever. And, it's a tale of 2 halves, and then the officiating too. And, I'm not blaming the refs for us losing or Steelers losing, but this might have been the worst officiated game for the entire season. Some of the calls that they made against both teams, but especially Pittsburgh. I think the ones against Pittsburgh was really awful, god awful. And if we were in if NFL was serious, they would take a look at that game and fire people, fire some of the officials for that game. But it was really egregious. Some bad missed calls. I think the one call when we got the ball out, to come out at halftime. That was so bad, and it forced us to. You're
talking about the phantom false start on the defense that was never called?
Yeah, so it was offside, right?
Offside, yep.
Yeah, Rodgers thought he had a free play, threw the ball up, didn't catch it, and it went what should have been 3rd and 2 to us going 3 and out and punting. And the guy was so far offsides. He was basically in the guy's lap. I don't know how that gets missed, but it did. And that started the chain of events, right? That led to Green Bay scoring on a fluke pass or whatever. That was a big play. And, again, we didn't have the answers offensively. We went away from our game plan and stick to the run. And that's why teams lose. So just disappointing.
It is disappointing because the Steelers actually scored 25 points, but then the other team scored more.
Yeah, offense has not been the issue this season. We're averaging 25, 26 points, somewhere around there. But offense has been okay. They haven't been perfect. Don't get me wrong. I think they're still growing. I thought their offensive line, even though they gave up 3 sacks, I thought this might have been their best game. They looked really good. Running the ball, pass protection and all that stuff. But defensively, they're a last place defensive unit. And that falls directly on the coordinator and Mike Tomlin. And until one of them goes, both of them goes, it's not gonna be fixed.
Speaking of being fixed, the Patriots, this is 5 wins in a row. And I know the knock is like, well, you're doing it against teams that are really, really bad. Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? It is your record 6-2 that matters. In the 2-0 in the division. This is what, and I know that we're going to talk about it towards the end of the podcast where we talk about our playoff predictions. But when we did our review, I didn't see neither of these teams making the playoffs. But now things have changed, especially with the Bengals, especially with Baltimore, especially with, we still don't know about the Chargers yet, but things are happening. And this game was kind of like a test for Drake May to see if he can handle. And he did all right. 3 touchdowns. He had that 1 pick, which he recovered from. I cannot complain. And finally, Trayvon Henderson got some carries, which I loved it. I didn't love that last fumble, but he got some carries. So maybe he'll be more, involved in the game plan. Yes.
That was the other thing. And I'm not going to go back to the Steelers and talk too much about it, but the personnel usage with the Steelers, it just drives me absolutely crazy. Our best, one of our best, defensive players leads the team in sacks, played like 20 snaps. Our running back, the rookie, when it seemed like he was getting things going, he was getting some carries, getting more involved, getting out, no carries the last 2 games. 0 carries the last 2 games. I don't know what the hell, they're doing at all with the personnel standpoint. It's good that Trayvon Henderson is getting some carries, because even if you don't think he should be your starting running back this season, it's so important for young guys to get involved early and be a part of feel like they're a part of the team and get acclimated to the speed of the NFL. It doesn't have to be 10 carries, which is what he got. It could be like 4 or 5 carries. That's it. As long as he's getting something, so, good for Vrabel for getting Henderson and, some carries.
Yeah, good for Vrabel, good for Josh McDaniels. But I want to point out this one particular player, Robert Spillane. The first 2 games against the Raiders and Miami, I was very doubtful because I was like, man, this guy cannot stick with running backs because he's so slow. But he eventually figured it out. He leads the team in tackles. He had 91 tackles last year for Las Vegas. He had 82 tackles for Las Vegas the year before. And who drafted him? The Steelers drafted him. I don't know why they let him go.
Because he's limited.
When I looked at his stats, 45, 56, 79, then they let him go.
Those aren't great numbers. The top tacklers in the NFL are linebacker.
Then he had 146.
Okay, that's better. But
that was assisted. So, and then 158, again, assisted with Las Vegas. So, he had potential is what I'm trying to say. But
it's not that he's a bad player, but this league, Cyric, the league is so much about like your skill set. Like, what are you good at? Like, Spillane is very good at stopping the run, look like being a downhill linebacker. He's great. But in the NFL, teams aren't running the ball like every single down. You got to be able to be a great player. You have to be able to cover. And that's where his biggest struggle has been.
Yes, he may be limited, but that doesn't mean, listen, if you're looking for an all-around player, that's not him.
Yeah.
But if you want to stop the run, like the Patriots are doing this year, I think they're in the top 2 at Seattle, then the Patriots. This is the right guy.
Yeah. I mean, that's how Steelers used him. We used him on running downs. He'd be in. Passing downs, he'd be out. That's how Pittsburgh used him. I think that's how, the Raiders probably used him as well. That's what he's good at. But
no, he's full time. The Raiders used him full time because I remember 2023, that was when Josh McDaniels was the coach. Spillane never came out. He just stuck with him. Yes, he might not have the speed, but not every team is going to use their back as a catching.
Right.
So,
but it's not just the back. I'm talking about like covering the tight end. That's what we struggle at. It's like being able to drop back and move.
But then you scheme for that. Then you say, okay, this guy needs help to covering tight end. I don't think
that's called coaching, Zurich.
Yes.
This is the NFL. There's not a lot of coaches and coaching. It's about, hey, we need this type of player to do this, and I don't want to coach them. They just got to be able to do it. That's been Pittsburgh's problem too. Like with Matt Canada last year, and now on the defensive side, it's not that we don't have good players on defense, but it doesn't matter if you have all stars. If you don't know how to coach, your players are going to be staring at each other like, what are we doing? And that's exactly what's happening now, because they have not been able to get on the same page and get aligned because coaching matters, and they don't have that.
They definitely don't have that. And I think I saw today that Tomlin said that he's not going to change anything about his defense.
Yes.
What? He's just stubborn. It's clearly he needs to change something.
Listen, I am so happy that the rest of the nation is finally like getting like pulling their heads out of their own behinds and really seeing what Pittsburgh fans have seen for the past eight plus years. Tomlin is stubborn. He does things his way, old fashioned way, and that's it. And he doesn't have a coaching tree, which alone should tell you something. Not every single decision he's made, but a lot of decisions he's made around like player personnel and coaching personnel has backfired. So what can you do when he has like the best job where the owner is going to be like, no, Tomlin's great. He sees him as he can do nothing wrong. Like, what can you do as a fan or a player or the media? Like, so it is what it is. He has the best job.
He clearly does, because like, no, I know we cooked you on Monday, but you're heading to another 9-8 season.
Oh yeah. 9-8, 10-7, which I think is
you're going to make the playoffs, but I don't know if you're going to win. Ron, who's in your power ranking for the week number 9?
All right, not a lot of change, to be honest, as far as who's in my top 10. So I have Detroit at number 1. I got Indy at number 2. Green Bay I have at number 3. I got Seattle at number 4. Tampa I still have at number 5. Philly at number 6. Kansas City, I have at number 7. They were at number 7 last week. They have a good chance to really, move up the rankings the way they're performing. The Rams at number 8. Buffalo at number 9. I had them at number 10 last week. And then Denver at number 10. So I have Denver as my new team in and Pittsburgh out. And then I have New England and the Chargers. You mentioned the Chargers. I have both of those teams lurking. I think New England's good. I do think, we have to be honest, about who they've played. But it's not to say that they aren't good. I think they're a good team that deserves, to be in the conversation for sure. I just don't have them there yet because, if you look at some of these teams that are ahead of them, like, Denver, division leader, Buffalo, even though they beat, Buffalo.
You have Buffalo number 9, but New England out.
Yeah.
But New England is the division leader.
Yes. Yep.
So it's very NFC top heavy, your list. So you don't have any confidence in AFC teams except for Colts.
I mean, I have Kansas City, right? I got Buffalo.
Yeah, but they're not in your top 5. You only have one AFC team top 5.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. But I think by the end of the season, I think Buffalo and Kansas City, like I said, will be in that conversation for top 5. But right now, I want to see more. Buffalo, they put a beat down. Who they just put a beat down on this week?
Carolina.
Yeah, right. So maybe this means that they're on their way back. I don't know.
So they beat Carolina this week. New England beats the Browns, but you still have them lurk. Got it.
You feel like New England's in the top 10?
Yes, and then I put them in my top 10. I put Indy first, even though we'll talk about Indy in a second. I have Detroit second, Philadelphia third, Tampa Bay at number 4, New England at number 5, KC at number 6. I have the Rams at 7, Denver at 8, Seattle at number 9, and then finishing up the Chargers. Now I have Pittsburgh in, Chargers out. I mean, I'm all over the place because if you look at it, I have KC above Denver, and we know Denver is a division leader. But Denver, to me, I'm not impressed by them yet. I scoring 33 points on the Giants in the fourth quarter. That's just bad coaching by the Giants. Not like Denver was. However, they did beat Dallas, but again, Dallas has a terrible defense.
Yeah, that's why I have them 10th. I still have questions about Denver.
Yeah, I still have questions about Denver.
Mm-hmm. But they are division leader, and that's why I have them at the 10th spot. I don't think New England is as good as Kansas City. I don't think New England is as good as Seattle. I don't necessarily.
Buffalo. You think Buffalo is better than New England?
I think,
even though they struggled against Carolina for like the first half, then they blew up the second half.
Yeah, well, I mean, they'll have a chance to play them again in a couple weeks. Will. Right?
And it'll be at home in Foxborough.
When we get to our playoff predictions, I think that's when we'll have some conversation about like what teams are going to win their division. Because I think you and I probably are not in agreement with the AFC East and who's winning that division.
Oh, of course. Of course. Because to win that division, they'll have to beat us at home.
Yes.
Plain and simple. Plain and simple. And I don't know if I can have the confidence that Buffalo can do that. I'm just not very confident.
Okay.
Let's look at week number 9 games, and let's start with Thursday night. Baltimore Ravens at the Miami Dolphins. The Ravens are favored by 8.5. 15.5 is the over and under. Ron, what's your prediction?
Lamar's back. So that's huge. Now, we've had conversations about Thursday, especially in the AFC North, and how bad they are on the road on Thursday nights. This almost feels like it should be a loss because of the history of like how bad the AFC North has been. And just teams in general playing on Thursday night on short rest. But I think, one, I don't trust Miami. I know they just had a win. I don't think they're a good team. I still think they're dysfunctional. I don't think they fixed that all of a sudden. And two, Lamar is going to provide a huge spark, a huge energy boost for that team. I think they're just going to be excited to have him, their leader, on the field. There's no way I can put them losing this game. So I got Baltimore winning. I don't know if they'll cover the 8.5 point spread, but I got them winning.
I mean, Lamar has already come out and said that this is going forward is win or go
Must
home.
win, yeah. That's what Cincinnati was at last year too.
And I also have Baltimore winning this game. I think Tua looked great, but it was Atlanta. I know they have a pretty good defense, but when you have Cousins giving the ball up, it's gonna be all Miami. So give me Atlanta. The next game, Minnesota Vikings at Detroit Lions. Detroit favored by 8.5. 47.5 is the spread. Ron, what's your prediction?
I'm going with Detroit. I know the Vikings are going back to McCarthy. I think it's going to be, I don't know what to expect from him, but give me the Detroit to win that one.
Yeah, give me Detroit. I mean, the way they manhandled Tampa Bay, I think that they're going to do the same with Minnesota. Basically, I don't know. Is Minnesota basically not going to make the playoffs this year? What's their record right now?
Let's see. They are 3-4 right now,
They're 3-4.
but last in the division.
Last in the division. This is a divisional game. What's their record? Well, they're 1-0 in the division, but will that save their season? If they go 4-4, I don't know. That's because they can be in. Technically, they can jump over the Chicago Bears. So I don't know. I think that remains to be seen how JJ McCarthy plays, but I still like Detroit to win. The next game, Panthers at the Packers. Packers are favored by 12.5, and that is not the highest spread this week. 44.5 is the over and under. Ron, who'd you pick?
I got Green Bay. They should win easily. It wouldn't shock me if they go well over that 12.5 point spread.
Yeah, Green Bay should dominate the Panthers. And I'm pretty sure that they're going to go back to Young, because the way the Red Rifle played, it was terrible. Next game, Chargers at Titans. Chargers are favored by 9.5. 42.5 is the spread. Ron, who'd you go with?
I'm going with the Chargers. It's the team that, listen, I had in the playoffs beginning of the season. They had a number of injuries, but they just got Alt back. They seem to have figured some things out, and I think they're starting to turn things around. So, they should win this game pretty easily as well.
Yeah, they should win this game. I got the Chargers winning against Carolina. The next game is the 49ers at the Giants. 2.5 is the spread. 40.5 is the over and under. Ron, what's your prediction?
I'm taking the 49ers here. I know they haven't necessarily played that well, but the Giants are cooked at this point. I have no faith in them whatsoever. What's the Giants' record? How many wins they got? 1 or 2?
They have 2.
2. They're 2-6. And honestly, I just hope they keep losing, because I think the way they handled that whole Russell Wilson thing was just like awful. So I just hope they keep losing.
Did you feel bad about Scatterboo injury?
Yeah, I like Scatterboo. He's a good player.
He's a good player. I mean, yes, he had a lot of antics, but at least,
They were still going to lose regardless, right?
Who's starting for San Francisco? Is it Mac Jones again?
I have no idea.
Because he did not play that well against Houston.
Well, Houston has the number 1 defense in the league, so.
Yeah, but it's not like they were get blown out. They still had a chance towards the end, and I don't know. He played like shit for 3 quarters, and then he woke up. Yeah. I went with San Francisco, but I'm not. 2.5 sounds about right. Next game, Broncos at Texans. The Texans are favored by 1.5. 39.5 is the over and under. Ron, what's your prediction?
Yeah, this is a tricky one again, because the defense is so good with Houston. But give me Denver. I think they got something going. You said you weren't convinced with their win, and I'm not fully convinced yet, but they have a good team. Their defense is good. Their offense is good. If Bo Nix, can continue to be consistent. So give me Denver to win this one.
Yeah, they do have, a really good defense. Houston has a really good defense. I can see why 1.5 and the 39.5 spread. I think they'll go under, to be honest, under that spread. But give me Denver to win this game. The next game, Jaguars at the Raiders. Jaguars are favored by 3.5. 44.5 is the over and under. Ron, what's your prediction?
I got Jacksonville winning this one. The Raiders are pretty terrible. Jacksonville coming off a bye week. They should be well rested and prepared. I know Vegas had a bye as well, but give me Jacksonville. I think they're a better team.
I also got I also got Jacksonville winning. The Raiders are cooked.
But Bowers is back. That's a huge lift for the Raiders.
That is a huge lift if Geno was playing well, but he's not.
Oh yeah, if the offensive line could block anybody,
and if the receivers can't wait to leave that. I mean, Jacoby Myers already wants out, and I don't know what's going on. The next game, Saints at the Rams. Rams are favorite. This is the highest spread, 13.5. Rookie QB going for the Saints. 43.5 is the spread. Ron, what's the prediction?
I'm taking the Rams, but there's no way. I don't think the Rams are going to cover this spread. I think Chuck, with a week of practice, I thought he looked pretty good just coming in on mop-up duty last week. But I think with a full week of practice, I think he's going to surprise the Rams a little bit and keep it close.
I don't know. Rookie QB against a really, really good Rams defense. I'm going to go over. I think the Rams got this and they go over the spread. The next game, we got the KC at Buffalo revenge game. KC's favorite are 1.5. 51.5 is the over and under. Ron, who'd you go with?
Yeah, this is a tough one. I think had this game been in KC, I would take Kansas City, but I'm taking Buffalo at home. I think they know. I'm not saying they have right the ship, whatsoever. Just coming off their win in Carolina, well, they know they need to get on a winning streak here. Kansas City's playing lights out right now, but Josh Allen, I think, is still the best quarterback in the NFL. So I'm taking Buffalo to win this one.
I'm taking KC to win this one because I think this is a statement game. If they win this game, KC is totally back. And I think Mahomes right now, I think he's lead the odds on MVP. Him, Drake May, and then Josh Allen third.
What happened to my man?
Who's your man?
Freaking the Tampa quarterback.
Mayfield?
Yeah.
That Detroit game pushed him all the way down. And that game against the Saints, it was the defense who won that game. So
One game?
He had 2 bad games in a row. He's not in the conversation.
Okay.
That's why I got out. I was like,
I need to see what the cashback money is, what I can get back for pulling it out.
You should. When I saw this, and we record this game on Wednesday, so I get tons of information Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Before that Detroit game, I was like, I'm taking my cash somewhere else. I did.
Maybe I need to do the same.
Sure, I did. The next game, this is a Monday night game. Cardinals. Oh, no, sorry. This is a Sunday night game. Got the Seahawks versus the Commanders. Seahawks are favored at 2.5. Oh, that should be. I think that should be higher. 2.5 for Seattle. 46.5 is the over and under.
Yeah.
Ron, who'd you go with?
Yeah, I feel like I need to double check this one because I'm surprised it's not higher, but maybe they're anticipating Daniels.
Well, no McLaurin is gonna. No McLaurin. Daniels maybe, but
yeah, McLaurin is back for sure. But I'm definitely taking the Seahawks. I don't care. It looks like it's at 3.5 now.
Yeah, that's
so still low though, right? 3.5.
That's at the Vegas zone.
Yeah. So it went up a little bit to 3.5, and maybe they got good news with Jane Daniels. I don't know. Either way, Commanders have not looked good. I'm taking Seattle. Seattle looks really good. They should win.
I'm taking Seattle. There's 2 teams that are undefeated on the road. Seattle, the Patriots. I'm taking Seattle. They should win this game. Monday night, Cardinals at the Cowboys. Dallas is favored at 2.5. 54.5 is the spread. Ron, who'd you go with?
I'm taking Dallas. I think Cardinals are awful. Give me Dallas to win it.
Yeah, I'm taking Dallas. Just because it's at home. Maybe if it was on the road, I'll have second thoughts. But I think Brissett is still starting for them. So I'm just taking that. Let's go into our teams, Ron. And let's start with Atlanta at New England. The spread is New England by 5.5. 45.5 is the over and under. Ron, what's your prediction?
I am taking the Patriots to win this one, 23-16. Atlanta's terrible offensively. I don't know what's going on with Penix if he's back this week. Cousin was awful last week. I think, Atlanta's offense, I don't have any trust in them whatsoever. I do think their defense is good. They've played pretty well, but New England is just going to be too much at home. So they should win pretty comfortably.
like I said, I'm out in Atlanta. I mean, they got the goose egg against Carolina. Then they beat Buffalo. Then they got beat by Miami. I can't with this team. I can't with Raheem Morris. I got New England winning 32-14. I know Atlanta's defense is, respectable, but New England been blowing out good defense, bad defense. So it doesn't matter. So give me New England to win this game. Indianapolis at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh 3.5 for Indy is the spread. 50.5 points is the over and under. Ron, what's your prediction?
Well, I'm going over, but I'm taking Indy by a lot. If last week is any indication, about how poor the defense is, and all year, Indy is the number one scoring team. They have an unbelievable running game. I think, what's the running back's name?
Jonathan Taylor.
Taylor is leading the league in, yards by a lot,
2
touchdowns by a lot.
Yeah.
We're going to have some issues stopping him. Their tight end, who we are terrible against covering, as you saw last week, he's outstanding. Their rookie tight end. So I'm saying Indy 33-20. They should win pretty easily.
Listen, I'm going to sag on this one. And only because when I looked at who has the easiest remaining schedule, the top 5 teams, number 1 is the Patriots, followed by the Saints, followed by the Bengals and Baltimore. So if I was Pittsburgh, I need to win these games because Bengals and Baltimore have cupcake schedules left. They need to win this game.
You still worried about the Bengals? I think the Bengals are cooked.
I think they can. The defense is horrible, but I think they can score.
I'm more worried about the Ravens than I am the Bengals.
Well, I'll be worried about all these teams that have an easy schedule, and I think that you cannot lose a conference games. I know this won't hurt you in the division, but you can lose conference games. I have them pulling the victory, Ron. 28-24. Not the Kyle Duggar is gonna make the secondary overnight better. I don't know if he's gonna get any snaps, to be honest.
He's gonna get snaps, I'll tell you that.
Not only that, Ron, but I'm double dipping on this game. I'm pulling a Ron special. This is my upset special. I have Indy at Pittsburgh winning 28-24. Ron, who's your upset special?
I'm looking at the Chicago-Cincinnati game, and I know Flacco's hurt, and I think there's a good chance of him missing. I don't know if it's official as yet. And I know Chicago is terrible. I don't trust them at all. They just got blown out, really, by Baltimore with Huntley. So I'm taking Cincinnati to win 27-24. I don't know what's going on in Chicago, this up and down nonsense. I'm surprised. We both had Chicago winning last week. Not only did they lose against Baltimore, they like I said, lost 30-16 and got blown out. So Cincinnati, I don't care who the quarterback is, that's still going to be my upset, 27-24.
Yeah, I went with Chicago because they actually have a pretty good defense. They actually, they didn't look great. 33 points. They didn't look great against Baltimore because when you went to that game, you would thought Cooper Rush was going to play, but he did not. They went with Snoop, and I was like, okay, well, maybe, but he was basically like throwing at everybody. I don't know what happened, but it wasn't the defense. It was so much. Caleb Williams, like, is he good?
He has immense talent, but he is so frustrating. He reminds me, who he reminds me of? Like, to a certain extent, like Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler had like so much dang talent, but sometimes you're like, what the hell are you doing? That's who Caleb Williams is.
I'm still going to go with Chicago because even if they start Browning, I don't trust Cincinnati. Not with that defense. I think Chicago has a better defense. They just need to put the offense together. I think Ben Johnson's, he's like frustrated like you are. Like, hey, I got the plays, but you're not running them correctly. And Swift, I thought he was going to be better, but he keeps, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the offense, but Cincinnati, this is not a conference game. This is outside of the conference. But I still like Chicago to win. Okay. Ron, in your playoff predictions, who do you have for the AFC?
All right. So I think we'll have some interesting debate here, but I got Buffalo winning the East. I got them as my division winner. And like I said, I think they not to say that they fixed everything, but I think they'll get back on track.
Yeah, Buffalo as the number 1 seed.
The number 1 seed in the AFC. Well, not the number 1 seed in the AFC completely, but they'll have.
So who's your number 1 in the AFC?
So I'm going to give that to Indy. I don't see. Well, I have a look at their schedule. I don't think they'll fall off a cliff though. But give me Indy as the number 1 overall seed.
Who's your number 2 seed?
I'm probably going to give that to Buffalo. And I'll give 3 to Denver. And I think Pitt will hang on at this point and finish like 9-8. Like I said, I think the hole that the Ravens are in Cincinnati, it might just be too deep. And although they deserve to be in the playoffs, they may not necessarily get there. So that would be my order. Indy, Buffalo, Denver, Pittsburgh. And then for my wild cards, I have New England, Kansas City, Chargers.
Yeah, I'd see. I'm not a big believer in the Chargers. I don't know. They have to put it together because we're talking about now. You have 3 teams coming out the AFC West. I'm not a big believer in the Chargers right now, but they could change that. So in my AFC, I have Indy as number 1, New England as number 2. I have KC winning that division in the West.
Wow.
At number 3, I have Pittsburgh winning that division, number 4. Denver getting the wild card. Buffalo getting the wild card. And then my big surprise is Jacksonville here. And I don't. You have the Chargers. I have Jacksonville. I don't have a lot of trust in neither team.
Yeah.
But I think that Jacksonville. I mean, what is this, like Trevor Lawrence 4th year? At some point, he has to get it together.
I think this is what he is. He's a lot of talent again, but he's not going to be a top 10 quarterback. He is what he is at this point. You're going to win some and lose some with him. I mean, we have, for the most part, like you said, the same teams. The only difference really is Jacksonville, versus the Chargers. And the biggest difference I think we have for division winners is I have Buffalo. You have New England. And you also have Kansas City, though, and I have Denver. So yeah, I think this week is going to tell, right? So
it is going to tell because I have Indy as number 1 seed, but then I have them losing to Pittsburgh. So they can fall to number 2 and New England can be number 1.
What if Buffalo goes in and actually wins at home against Kansas City? What's that say about Kansas City? And then what's it say about Buffalo?
I mean, doesn't mean the Kansas City can't be a wild card team.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But can they, if they lose, and let's say Denver wins, and Kansas City still win that division? I guess is my question. I don't think they can, right? I mean, they can mathematically, but I don't think they will.
I mean, I'm just gonna look really quickly.
Denver right now, they're 7-2.
Kansas
KC
City is
5-4.
1-1 in the division. Chargers, for some reason, are 3-0 in the division. Mm-hmm. Denver is leading the division on wins, but they haven't won a game in it.
0-1, yeah.
So,
but if Denver gets to 7-2, Kansas City falls to 5-4. Can Kansas City still catch them? Yes, I guess so. Mathematically, they can. Will they? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this shapes out because, let's say the Indy win, and then let's say the Chiefs lose, then that could be Denver's division. Well, yeah, this week will tell. It's not a Sunday night game, so we'll know by Sunday night. Ron, what's your prediction for the NFC?
All right, I didn't have this in order, but I'll put it in order now. So, just looking at records right now, where Detroit is at 5-2, I'm going to give them the number 1 seed. I think they will win the division. I know they're behind Green Bay now, but I still think they'll win the division. Give me Philly at number 2. What's Seattle's record right now? Seattle is 5-2. Tampa 6-2. Man, this one's tough. A little bit tough. But I think I'm gonna take Tampa at 3 and then Seattle at 4.
Who's your wild card?
So wild card Green Bay will have the first one, and then I got Rams, and then Chicago. I just shitted on Chicago, and I got them in here as my the 7th seed. So it's like who are you gonna pick as your 7th seed? It's either Chicago or San Francisco at this point.
I went with San Francisco.
Yeah.
I know that.
But
you crapped on Chicago, and I had them winning this week. So yeah. But I don't know. To be honest with you,
we both had San Francisco winning this week. So I don't know. I have no idea. I got Chicago in there as the wild card, but that can change if they lose this week.
I have Philly as number 1. I have Tampa Bay as number 2 because that division is so easy. I mean, Atlanta, Saints, Carolina is just. They're a dumpster fire. You think they'll have a better record than Seattle and Detroit? Yeah, because I mean, Seattle and Detroit, they're in tough divisions. I mean, you got the Rams in that division, you got Green Bay in that division, you got Chicago. But if Chicago is much better than. Chicago is much better than, that NFC South. So I got Seattle number 3. I got Detroit on number 4, only because they're in a really tough division. I got Green Bay getting the wild card slot. I got the Rams, and then we talked about San Francisco, which I really don't know how they're doing it.
Yeah, seriously.
I don't know how. I mean, smoke and mirrors. I mean, if I look at my NFC wildcard predictions, wildcard playoff predictions, I have 3 teams coming out the NFC West. It's probably not going to be like this.
Well, we'll probably both be wrong by the end of the year. So who knows what's going to happen.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know even if Purdy comes back, I don't know if that's enough.
Yeah.
Because they have so many injuries. I don't know if that's enough. I don't know how they have been able to. McCaffrey has been not on the injury list.
Right, that too.
I don't know how that happened. Ron, before we end this episode, what do you have to tell the Steelers fans out?
Listen, hang in there. I know it's been a rough 2 weeks. We got a tough game here, which, most likely they'll lose, but what can you do? Hold out hope that
So let me see if the Steelers schedule gets any. So you have Colts, then you have the Chargers.
We'll be underdogs again.
Then you have the Bengals.
We might
winnable game.
We lost to them already, but sure.
The Bears should be winnable game.
That's where on the road.
Out Chicago, yep.
I don't know if we'll be the favors for that game. You think we'll be the favorite?
It all depends on this week.
We might be underdogs there too. I don't.
Because if you lose against the Colts and the Bears win, you might be underdogs, right? Then it gets tough. Then you got Buffalo at
underdogs.
Home. You got the Baltimore on the road.
Underdogs, most likely, yeah.
Then you got whatever's left of the Dolphins.
Might be favor that one.
Then you got the Lions.
Underdogs
Whatever's left of the Browns.
should be favored.
And then whatever. They don't even have... That game is to be determined. They don't even have a time
For which one? The
for
Browns?
the Baltimore, the last game.
Oh,
because
yeah.
they know if Baltimore goes on a streak, that game will count for something.
But you're talking 3 games that they'll probably be favored the rest of the season. And then everything else is underdogs. That's tough.
That's why I can't just... that's why I have you fourth. That if you happen to win that division,
Yeah.
you'll get fourth place.
I have us 4th, barely getting in.
And you'll at least get one home playoff game. Sure, if you win.
One and done. Tomlin way.
But at least you went 9-8. So
Yes, winning season.
Yes.
Yes,
Hey,
the standard is the standard.
He's going to get another extension. because of
Another
that.
extension. There you go.
And then when I look at what's left for the Patriots, really the only hard game against Tampa and Buffalo. Oh, we have the Ravens in there for some.
You guys gonna play the Ravens?
We have the 15th game against the Raiders.
Oh, the Raiders.
I mean, not the Raiders, the Ravens.
The Ravens. That should be.
Yeah, that should be interesting. But it is pretty easy. I can see now why they're number one in what game easiest schedule left. So
Now, suppose they get the first one by, and then they have to play like Kansas City or some team like that.
well, if we win the division,
That gives you home field.
that gives us at least a home game.
That's true.
But even if we don't win the division, we'll be a wildcard team. Then we can speculate. But they're doing so well on the road.
And it doesn't matter because it was a success, right? You make the playoffs. That was your goal. It's a success, period. Doesn't matter what happens in the playoffs, I don't think. But, you want to win, obviously. But you can't lose and say it's been a disappointment. No, because you did exactly what thought, at least you thought that they... Well, did we either of us think that they would make the playoffs? I don't think we did.
No, because we thought... I basically said both teams are going to finish 9-8.
Yeah.
And they're not going to make... Because we thought the Bengals were going to be good. I thought Baltimore was going to be good. And then, no, it turns out Joe Burrow's got injured and Baltimore has issues. But I did say this when the schedule came out in May. Ron, we're going to have a better record than the Steelers. And we put a bottle of whatever we drink on it.
Yeah.
You could have easily backed off and you were like, oh, you know what? It's true. Your schedule is very easy.
It
But
is
you
easy.
didn't. You didn't.
No.
Even after I tell you, we're going to get the Saints. We're going to get the Jets twice. You were like, no, the Saints have a good quarterback.
Listen, I am stubborn, okay? I'm gonna start. I don't care if we lose this
No,
week. And
the
we're
Jets
4-4.
the Jets have a good roster. They have a good coach and Aaron Glenn. I'm like, nope. Now it feels.
No.
So I already know what I want, Ron.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Just save a glass for me too.
So right now, I'm going to say my prediction for the Pats before the season, it was 9 games, which at some point I'm going to post that. I don't know when, because it was in my old laptop. I have to transfer to do a lot of stuff. I'm going to go with 11 games.
Wow. Okay.
11 games.
All right.
Yep.
It's probably possible. I'm gonna go with 10 though. I'll give them 10. I think they'll be.
What was your original?
I think like 8
6
or 7.
Yeah,
7 or 8.
I have to look it up. I think you went 6.
I don't think I went that low.
Let's see. 8 games. No, you went 8 games. I went 9 games.
Because their schedule is easy. I figured they'd get to 8 wins and that'd be great, but
Larry was the one that's had them for 11.
and he might be right.
He might be right. And he might be right. I was like, oh, that's being hopeful.
That's ambitious.
Yeah, and our friend Anthony had them winning 9 games. Yeah. And Larry knew something that we didn't know. So keep stacking those wins, Patriots. Keep stacking them wins. How do you feel about Drake May being number 2? I know our friend Steve was there. Oh, it's only October. Well, technically we are going into November.
I don't like the whole MVP conversations this early because, like you said, just a week ago or 2 weeks ago, really,
it was Baker
Mayfield was like running away with it, and now we're scrambling to cash out.
And that's why I told our friend Steve, I'm like, get in now, because people think that you should bet against it. Be like, no, I don't agree with that.
Yeah. And
Baker Mayfield, I was like, he looks, I don't know, and I got out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the same thing with Drake May.
You gonna take it out?
I'm gonna get in when it's high. Now it's like super low. Now it's like plus 350. But I got in when it was plus 1200. And then what do we talk about the schedule? They don't have Buffalo until what? They have Atlanta. That's gonna make my cash out grow. Okay, so maybe I'll get out before they play Tampa, because I know that defense sometimes can be it's all about the blitzing game, top bowl. So get in and get out. That's all I'm saying. You don't have to like, oh man, maybe. However, I will say this: I still have money on Daniel Jones.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that's the sneaky one.
That's a sneaky one that nobody,
because he might not go anywhere. All he has to do is keep playing this exact same. It has to be. He's not gonna put up like outrageous numbers.
You just have to win. Just have to win.
Exactly.
If you win 12 games, 13 games, the writers for some reason just like, oh no, you're the MVP.
Jalen Hurts could be in that situation too.
Let me see. What's the so they have Dallas. Because that division is pretty weak too. Very weak. But Jalen Hurts, he doesn't put the numbers.
I know he doesn't put great, but they win.
They do win.
But he scores a lot. Push.
Gets pushed in the butt.
That's he scores a lot of touchdowns.
So week 10, we'll have episode 136, and then we'll see where we at on our season totals. So until we meet again, I say peace.
Peace. All right, that's it, guys. That's the end of the show. Thanks so much for all your support and listening today. If you got any questions, comments, feedback, feel free to email us at simsportsmedia@gmail.com. That's SYMSPORTSMEDIA@gmail.com. Peace.